All right, here we go. Thursday edition of the Sports Cage. 3 hours with you on a Red Sox playoff game day in Regina. It's for Access Communications. Thanks for making time, whether you're at the work, maybe you're at the cottage, driving, getting ready for harvest out there. Maybe you're just taking an extra long weekend. Good for you. Sharky's going to be with me in a bit because it is Thursday. He's brought to you by Flooring Superstores in Regina. All of our guests are on the Western Pizza guest hotline today. And do we have guests? It's going to move fast and furious. How about in hour one, a little Willie Desjarden? He is the head coach, general manager of the Medicine Hat Tigers that lost in the Memorial Cup final, unfortunately. What a season for the Tigers. The Harrison Minigan, the goalie story of his father passing away at the game in Calgary. Unbelievably sad, tragic. And then Gavin McKenna, Ryder Ritchie going to the NCAA. So we'll have a good chat with Willie on that. He's a good Sasky gentleman as well. Hour two, Arash Madani. NASCAR report in hour two for our friends at Croft Electric. And then Jared Bednar, head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, will be with us in hour two. Hour three, Glen Suitor. And we will get to some more. Also today on the show, if you're watching the stream at sportscage.com, you're going to be in for a treat because if you're a follower of what we do here and you listen often, you know I'm a massive pigeon when it comes to doing anything, building, trying to fix anything. I used my neighbor's chainsaw a few weeks ago, little plug-in one, and I was buzzing. The boy and I were taking down branches. We felt like we maybe we should start up a little side business here. We're doing some good things. And then the chainsaw broke. Or the chain fell off. So Sharky was like, did it break or did the chain fall off? And I was like, again, not the right guy to ask in this situation. I think the chain fell off. So I brought in the chainsaw.
We have the chainsaw here today.
Sharky's going to fix it live on...
Really? We're going to do this live?
On video.
It's not going to take very long.
We'll piece it together. Yeah, okay. No, it's live TV, and it's a Rider Bye Week. The other day, Maz and I did buy and sell, and we brought back the flea market. Today, it's fixing segment with Sharky.
What did you have good on the flea market?
Somebody was renting a suite, or somebody was renting a condo in Harbor Landing, and we had a guy with a basement suite for rent outside of Regina. We had a fridge, bedroom set.
Nice.
Yeah.
You didn't get an old fifth wheel, did you?
An old fifth wheel?
Yeah. Like I want to take an old fifth wheel and convert it into like a hunting shack, right?
No, but there's probably a lot of those out there.
Yeah.
Like how old are you thinking?
Well, I don't need any slide outs on it. This is the biggest thing. Doesn't need a bathroom. We're going to take that out, right?
Our friends at Affordable Trailer Sales should be your first call.
Well, I looked there, but they don't have anything that's
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got
lots of good stuff. Don't get me wrong.
They actually I was just there visiting yesterday. They have a ton of used units, and when you think used, right? People are like, oh, is it that old Winnebago that Crazy Ed used to drive? No.
I take that. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what you're looking for. They have all their stuff's like 5 years old, 6 years old.
And redone and minted out.
And they're blowing it out.
Yeah.
So there's a free plug for our friends at Affordable Trailer Sales. If you have an old fifth wheel or travel trailer.
Yeah, it could take either or.
Basically, you want to be the guy that has the fishing shack on the lake, but you want it to put in the bush.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
936-6262. All of the engagement is brought to you by Prairie Land Rentals, where you can rent chainsaws, items
and
like that. And
take them back if the chain comes off.
He might be able to hook you up with a rental of some sort of fifth wheel if you really tried, Jeremy and the crew there.
We're not looking to rent something. This is going to get kind of tucked away. Yeah.
They rent everything, though. You can literally rent a spade, or you can rent a front end loader. At Prairie Land Rental, 600 Albert Street. You get to deal with the owner. 936-6262. Play along with us. Let us know. Riders are on a bye week. CFL week starts tonight.
It does.
I like this matchup.
We haven't looked at any betting lines.
I have.
Remarkably, you're ahead of me again.
BC is a little bit of the underdog tonight.
Against?
Hamilton.
Yeah, they should be.
They're paying $2.70. So if you wagered $1, one Canadian loonie,
you get $2.70
or
back.
50 cents American, you'd get $2.70 back.
On BC?
Yes.
Is that in BC?
No.
See,
it's in the Hammer.
I don't like that bet.
The over-under is 54.5. That one scares me. I don't know where to go on that one.
I blew all my over-unders last week terribly.
Yes.
Yeah, I lost money.
So that the week starts tonight. We can get into that in a bit, and I think Nathan Rourke, hello.
Where are you?
What? Isn't that something? I don't know if Maz talked about this yesterday. I heard somebody talking about it. Maybe it was a program. Oh, Bill and Chilliwack, by the way, on Tuesday. We had a fellow from Tokyo, and then there was another guy called us the best sports show in Canada. I said, pump the brakes. We're not.
Well,
but thanks for the kind words. Maz was talking about, I think he was talking about it yesterday.
Reviewed everybody yet.
Even my family knows we're not. The Riders, or Nathan Rourke, sorry. Is it because he went to the NFL and didn't play and kind of sat there and did nothing? You kind of feel sorry for the guy.
No, I don't feel sorry for him.
I got a big heart.
Well, that's the softness in you and the coldness in me. I don't feel sorry for him, but I do think when you miss a complete year or so of football at that age, there's an effect. There's an effect.
Probably more so than anyone thought.
That's right. Right? Sit out your contract. There's an effect, right? And especially a quarterback, more than anything, more than any other position, quarterback would experience that.
We got a lot of smart listeners and people that chime in. 936-6262. So who went to the NFL and came back and maybe wasn't the best? So Jeff Garcia, he went and never came back.
He didn't come back. Dickinson
went, came back. He was okay when he came back.
Yeah, but he didn't go for very long.
No. Burris? It was a cup of coffee.
Yeah. But it even took him a while to get back on.
Did it?
Yeah.
So I don't remember that. I thought he came back and he kind of started tearing things up.
No, I'd have to look that up.
It was Doug Flutie came, he was here, and then he left and went back and played. I love Flutie. That story is awesome. Colson's got the Croft Electric question hat on.
Oh boy.
You're watching the stream. Colson, question or statement?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it was a day ago, the NFL posted Nathan Rourke's touchdown pass when he was down there in the preseason. Like, still thinking about this touchdown pass. I was like, hey, we'll take it. He's not doing that well up here since then, but hey, at least the NFL is still aware of Canadians and doing their thing.
Speaking of NFL and Canadians, Joe, do we got any confirmation? The last thing you saw, it looked like he might be in the lineup tonight.
There was an unofficial lineup released like 3 days ago that had him on for the game day roster.
Indianapolis Colts, Baltimore Ravens tonight. NFL preseason action.
I'm going to try and there.
I'm going to try and watch. Hey, NFL preseason gambling is it? Like I said, it's a crazy ride.
It is.
You might as well.
Because who had the Lions losing that bad?
You might as well be like Kramer and the guy in the airport betting on arrival times of airplanes. Because it is up and down. You don't know. And the one of the craziest things that I wager on in NFL preseason of football is in-game betting. A team could be up 14, 20 points. All of a sudden, they pull everybody out and they put in guys where their equipment doesn't even look like it fits right. And then they come back and they lose.
Or they get blown out by some quarterback you've never heard of before.
And you'll never hear from him again.
And he's gone after this.
The next time you hear from him, he'll be doing a tour on a duck boat in San Diego. It's, so a Joe, Colson's efforting. He's going to look if they have released rosters for tonight's game. They should release them here right away, you would think. The other thing out there that I was going to ask people, 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. After 8 games, who would be the Saskatchewan Roughrider award winners? And when I say award winners, can we limit it to, I wrote it down here somewhere.
Offense, defense, rookies, O-line.
Yeah, I don't want to go like, really in deep, the jock sniffer nerd kind of down that thing. I want to go most outstanding offensive player as of 8 games. Most outstanding defensive player. We can throw in O-line. I think we all know who that would be.
That's Logan.
Logan Ferland.
Or Brammer.
How about... They've all...
Yeah.
Like, that's where you could go Edwin Harrison for Coach of the Year.
Without a doubt.
I would like to go rookie. Who's the rookie out there that people think after 8 games? And I don't know... We got a gray area in what constitutes a rookie.
Yeah.
Robustelli?
That's where I'm going.
Does he
He only played 1 game last year. So to me, he's a rookie.
What about Canadian? Let's go Canadian rookie O-line. O-line we're going to take off the board because it's Logan Ferland.
Yeah.
We'll go defense offensive. Right now, where we stand. Is it Trevor Harris?
He's got to get a vote.
2,183 yards.
Got to get a vote.
13 touchdowns.
I'd have Keyshawn in there, right?
What about Dante Myers?
Exactly, right? Then you got to add them both.
What about guy with long hair, AJ Ouellette? He's saying, hey, what about me?
Yeah, you can't leave him off, right?
He's a guy you might want to talk to about fifth wheel, by the way. I think I heard he lives in a souped-up fifth wheel.
Yeah, see, I don't need a souped-up fifth wheel. I need an unsouped that I can redo.
True. Defense is where I'm gonna let the audience. Do you have an
Micah?
Really?
I love Micah in the middle. He makes that whole defense work.
Micah in the middle sounds like a sitcom.
It is. Micah Johnson in the middle.
Colson, you want to chime in on anything here?
Jameer Thurman's doing really good.
Yeah, he's
He's like 5th in tackles, I think. Plus that interception last week.
What about Shane Ray?
Again, Shane Ray's benefiting.
Should have a forced fumble.
They got a double team Micah.
Somebody texting in. What about Malik Carney?
Again, Micah in the middle is making it all happen.
936-6262. Fire away. We're going to get into a debate here. Let's see what everybody else out there thinks. The offensive, it's a tough one. It's the offensive side. I find, well, and we said the defensive side is tough. Rookie, we need to. Are we going Robustelli?
That's where
constitutes as a rookie.
Okay. Yeah, Robustelli's a rookie. Yeah,
Canadian.
Isn't Daniel Johnson on the O-line also a rookie? And he's been doing good.
But he's out right now. He's hurt.
No, but that's a good point, Colson. I like that point.
Yeah.
Somebody's texting in special teams player. We're not going that deep.
Yeah.
We can't.
It's too hard.
We don't. We got to fix a chainsaw in 10 minutes here, live on the air. Okay, Canadian though. This is my maybe vote. My mind can be changed. I'm easily influenced. Look at my youth. Tavon Campbell.
Great choice. I like AJ Allen.
What about Logan Ferland could be there too?
Duncan Busby.
Dell.
Yeah.
Dell, the Funko Homo sapien.
Yeah. Who else did I have? Was deep on the roster here. The addition of Malik Straker playing a little linebacker. I thought he's added some nice play for us as a national. Right.
We have a no name, parts unknown text. So you got to let us know where you're from and your name.
We need that, or we'll give you a hometown.
Nathan Rourke is doing just fine. Nothing has changed. What's the matter this season is that he has no O-line in front of him. Oh, I would respectfully disagree because there's been times that I've watched him play and he's had all the time in the world and he's thrown it 5 feet over someone's head.
Yeah, he's missed some throws.
Or into the turf.
Yeah.
And not looking at the right reason. I personally, there's a confidence issue there. And he doesn't have the mojo. He needs just like a kicker.
Yeah.
Got to have some mojo going here. I can sling it around.
Needs a streak buster.
Drop it in the little box.
Yeah.
Put it in the tire.
Yeah.
Right now, if he had to stand, I feel like if he had to stand up and say, hey, Nathan, throw it through that tire over there, people would be ducking.
He'd be in the stands.
Just no mojo. A great guy, skilled, and will it come back?
Should.
Odds would say probably.
Should.
Not playing good football right now. And partially, obviously, a lot of times it isn't offensive line needs to protect. You need, receivers to run the right routes.
And it doesn't help when you're watching what VA is doing in Calgary. And you're like, did we let go of the right guy? And you're hearing those rumors going on around you.
VA's back.
I don't think that's kicking pots and pans around in his kitchen.
Might be. It's a good
It
point.
might not be in his kitchen, though. It might be in the O-line's kitchen. Might be in the receiver's kitchen.
I think it'd be in his.
You think so? It's pretty.
It's an interesting point.
Fragile kitchen, then.
Hey, to each their own, right?
Yep.
It's a fragile world out there we're living in these days. I don't. We're going to find out a lot tonight.
Yeah, we are.
In Hamilton.
Hamilton's playing really good football. And whatever fountain of youth they found for their quarterback is just outstanding. Because Bo Levi has been out. He's just been off the charts.
I wasn't a Bo Levi Mitchell fan. And the last 2 years,
You can't help but love what he's doing.
I'm like, stick it to everybody but the Riders. That's
right. Yeah. Run around, do whatever you got to do. He's throwing darts. They gave him another receiver in Kenny Lawler, and I think he's just doing a great job there. So, real tough place to go in and win in Hamilton. They got it sold out tonight, right? They got the big promotion for the basketball MVP. Why can't I say his name?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
There you go. I knew it. I just couldn't see it.
Hey, you have a skill. It's in 10 minutes going to be fixing that chainsaw. We don't need you to remember every name. I'm not good at the names either.
Okay.
We have somebody pop up, Colson, on the YouTube. I don't see the YouTube that quick.
Yeah, Sandra Larson, most outstanding Canadian, Logan Furland.
See, yeah, easy.
Yeah, he could win multiple. Yeah.
I would go to Von Campbell just for argument's sake.
Do you know who I've really liked, and we don't have an actual category for him, is Baldonado, because he's the international.
Yeah,
right?
We're not international.
There's only two.
We had to cut. We only could do so many.
There's only two.
We had to cut.
Him and the punter. But yeah, I think he's added a lot along the defensive line and given them some real depth. Shown a lot of quarterback pressure. Great on the run. I like him.
Luke's always liked him. And Luke has an eye for that position.
He does.
Obviously playing it. Smart fellow. Even though he ditched us the other day. He actually had some work issues. He's got a good eye. He's always liked Baldonado.
Yeah. I think he's done a great job for him.
Okay. That's if the next bye week, if we get desperate, we'll go to internationals. But I get what you're saying. So we got a couple of votes here on the text line, 936-6262. A Shelley and a Ron said AJ offensive.
Yep.
Second in the CFL, 564 yards. I think there's I would make the stronger case personally for Trevor. It's always the quarterback when you think about it. It's like, why do quarterbacks always win the MVP of a Super Bowl and stuff like that? Because they're touching the ball every time
they're on the field. Yeah.
And there is so much to juggle, remember, worry about as a quarterback. Like, it is a very demanding position. Trevor's been playing lights out for us. So Dante Myers, how many games did he play last year before he got hurt?
I'd have to look.
2 or 3?
Not very many.
Like he's not, we can't put him in the rookie category.
No.
But him and Keyshawn are tied for fourth. I think it's fourth in the league for yards.
Yep.
Dante played 4 games last year.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way Trevor spreads it around, it's going to happen when Kean Schaefer-Baker's ready to roll.
And yeah, Keyshawn Johnson, Dante Myers, 565 yards each. Johnson has 43 receptions, 9.6 yard average, 3 touchdowns. Myers has 35 receptions, 12.8 yard average, 4 touchdowns.
We got Sean Bain Jr. We got
waiting
Samuel
in the
Amelis.
wing. He's
What's
ready to
happened to
come
him?
back. He's ready to come back.
He's
They
ready
just
to come
couldn't get
back.
him in because of the
Ratio?
Ratio, yeah.
They didn't want to move stuff around too much, and the guys are balling right now, so how do you get him back in?
Exactly. Where do you put him, right? Who do you take out of the lineup? There's nobody to remove. Everybody's doing great.
We got 2 Heather texts. That's a
That's a challenge for you?
The new one says, Offensive,
Yes.
Trevor Harris.
Yeah.
Defensive, CJ Rivas.
Good choice. Excellent choice, Heather.
Canadian, AJ Allen.
See, I like AJ. Yeah.
Smart lady, Heather.
I think it was Luke said on the broadcast, because nobody's throwing Roland Milligan's way, go figure. But CJ Rivas has been locking down because it's all been going his way.
Yeah.
That very, very
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah. Nobody's playing against Milligan, right? They're avoiding him at all costs.
You see it in other sports too.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's like, yeah, he's playing against the best line. The second line guy's got a bunch of points. Well, yeah, because he's playing against pigeons.
You can ask my one brother from high school. He played corner. In the first 3 games, he had 6 interceptions. He had 0 the rest of the year because
They didn't throw his way.
Yeah, no one's throwing his way. High school ball, so a little different, but
What was his name?
that was Bennett, second oldest.
Benny locking things down in the corner.
Nice.
Greenall?
Yeah, for Greenall. He had his last one that he caught. He returned it 78 yards to the 2-yard line, dove for it, and the ref didn't give it to him. And he's like, "Come on, man, come on."
Well,
Cheap
where was the
ref.
ref from?
Good question. That was at old Taylor Field. Would have been
Miller
so.
grad, probably.
Yeah, we should call it. Find out his name. Let's call that guy out. A non-clutch performer. Later in the show. Gary in Winnipeg. Oh, Gary's always a wild ride here. I got to read.
You got to pre-read Gary before you read it on the air.
Regarding CFL quarterbacks going to the NFL, Dieter Brock led the CFL in passing for 4 years. At the age of 34, Brock became the oldest rookie quarterback in NFL history, leading the Los Angeles Rams to the 1985 NFC Championship game. Gary, the old fart in Winnipeg. Thanks, Gary.
Yeah.
That's
I remember that, but yeah.
kind of pre my time. Like, I remember the name.
Yeah.
You remember him?
I remember him playing. Yeah, he was good.
I totally forgot that Mark Levy coached in the CFL.
Yeah, with Montreal. Yeah. When the Als were the team in the East. Yeah.
I was watching the Four Falls of Buffalo on the ESPN 30 for 30. You kind of, it's like, oh, please.
The loss
Can
to
Buffalo-
the Giants was the worst one.
Can Buffalo just win? You go through the heartache and what these people had to endure.
They had a good football team. They just couldn't win the last game.
They needed to win was it the first 2 Super Bowls? Because once they ran into Dallas,
Yeah, they were in trouble.
it was a different league.
Yeah.
Speaking of different leagues, what the Blue Jays in Colorado? Like, here's an honest question. What would be the spread if the Blue Jays or if the Colorado Rockies played the Regina Red Sox? Or the Regina Trappers, who are hosting the Canadian Men's National Baseball Championship August 21st to 24th. Seriously, because a lot of these guys come into play in the Baseball Men's National Championships.
Yes.
They're older.
Yep.
A lot of them have pro experience. Whereas the Red Sox and the Western Canadian Baseball League, there's like an age limit at college.
It was 25 and under, I believe.
Is it 25?
Yeah.
What?
25 and under, that's young when you think about it.
Regina Trappers, Colorado Rockies exhibition game, Curry Field. We'll do a live show. Nope. Let's give away some tickets. If you want to go watch some of this baseball, actually, it's coming up August 21st to 24th. Curry Field and Optimus Park. The beer gardens alone. You will find Sharky and I in the beer gardens. 10 teams across the country. Full details can be found at reginatrappers.ca. Let's give away 4 tickets today. 936-6262. You want to watch some hardball? August 21st to 24th in Regina. It's live streamed. They lost to Quebec, I think, last year in the final. It'll be good ball. And then once it rolls around, it'll be a good time. Another text coming in here. As for Rourke goes, I think he's adjusting to Buck Pierce's style of play and calling the offense. Look how long it took Bo Levi Mitchell to adjust to Milanovic's offense. On a side note, in my humble opinion, Trey Ford was done a disservice bringing in Simic because his game doesn't mesh with Ford's style. I would rebuttal on the Rourke and the Buck Pierce thing, which possibly could be true. The Buck Pierce offense doesn't justify the bad throwing of the ball when you're protected.
No, there is some element of having to, understand maybe the nuances of his offense. But yeah, when throwing the ball away, no.
Let's take a quick break. Keep them coming on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, 936-6262. We are going to, when we come back, we'll put the chainsaw on hold for a bit. We're going to talk to Willie Desjarden, general manager and head coach of the Medicine Hat Tigers. We're going to talk about the Tigers running through Memorial Cup, and then also Gavin McKenna going to play for Penn State for some big dope. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com. You can go to the YouTube channel, hit the like button, subscribe. Colson loves when you do that, and you can also message in there as well. And if not, you can pick us up on all the streams, the apps, and of course the old-fashioned radio with 620 CKRM. All right, head coach and general manager of the Medicine Hat Tigers, Willie Desjarden, is joining us here on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Willie, I've wanted to catch up with you for a long time here. You're just back from Kenya, which is interesting. I take it that wasn't a scouting trip.
No, scouting for different animals for sure.
Let's go to the Memorial Cup first. And, you know, everybody is rooting for you guys because you're the Western representative. You're going from the league. Spokane gives you a little bit of a battle. You get through them. Then you get to the Memorial Cup, and we've seen it so many times. It's like, just get that bye into the final, which you guys get. But unfortunately, you come up short in the final to a very good, team from London, no doubt about it. When you go back to that Memorial Cup, and if you have, would you have done anything different, or was it just one game showdown and that's the way it goes?
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's one game. I think if you look at it, we needed the bye. We were beat up. And that's the hardest thing coming out of our league. But, Wiseline and McKenna were both beat up, and Lindstrom and Basha, I was trying to get them back in the lineup, but they were, they both missed basically the whole year, and they weren't quite ready. They were 2 weeks away from being ready. So it was just what we had. But saying that, we had a really good group, and, in the finals, I think London only got 24 shots. I'm sure they hadn't been held to 24 shots in 2 years. So it wasn't that. And we had a great start. They all thought that we'd be rusty with the layover, but we had a great start. We just didn't score, and like you said, they had a really good hockey team. It wasn't so much us. It was just that they had a really good team.
You've been around the league a long time, whether it's playing or coaching. Where would this team have ranked, Willie? For maybe it's a tough question, but just the makeup of this team, what you guys had to go through, and where would that rank?
Well, the crazy thing about that team is I didn't think we were an exceptional team. Like, when I looked at us, like we lived off our power play and McKenna's line quite a bit, and we were a little bit thin, and that's why we really needed Basha and Lindstrom back. But if you look at our record after, the trade deadline, I've never ever seen a team with a record like that. I don't know. It was crazy. Like, it was, I have no idea. Like, it was 35 or whatever, 4-2 or something like that. Like, it was an amazing record. So, saying that, we won a lot of games in that stretch where, teams could have beat us, but we found a way. And that's really, really impressive when you have a team that finds a way to win.
You had a goalie in Harrison Menigan too. Like, I know the unfortunate situation of him losing his young father during the stretch run and that, and then him bouncing back and carrying you guys through. Like, that story again, a guy that's been through so much, probably something that you haven't dealt with as well as a head coach and GM.
No, it was really hard because Calgary and us had fought for a long time for first place. It came down to the last game of the regular season, and we had to win in Calgary. And Menigan had an unbelievable game, like unbelievable. And then that happened right at the game. So it was such a high to such a low. Mm-hmm. And the Menigans are such an outstanding family. Like, it's unbelievable. So it was, I don't know what you can't say.
No,
there's no words to explain how devastating that was, but they're an amazing family. And anyways, for Harrison to battle through, And it was a rally cry for the team too. Like, it was interested in game second round, I think. No, maybe it was the first round. We were in the second round, and I asked McKenna, and he had a really, really good first and second round. I asked him what the highlight was for him up to that point, and he said Menigan shut out in game one.
Wow.
So it was pretty good to hear how the guys rallied for each other.
I think, and I think just on that, just people around the league and anyone you talk to too is just really rooting for him, rooting for you guys because of that story and is just an unfortunate circumstance, like you said. All right, Willie, the big news a few weeks ago, it was made official. Gavin McKenna is going to play at Penn State, leaving Medicine Hat, going to NCAA. When here in Regina with Braxton Whitehead coming out mid-season, it was it was a big thing here. When did you really know? When did you really think that Gavin was probably going to be gone after this season?
Well, as soon as the first guy left, you know that they're going to come after him hard. Like, there's nobody they're going to come after harder. So, so as soon as that happened, we knew there'd be teams looking at him. But Gav was pretty loyal. Like, he's an unbelievable family. Like, he's got a great family. And he's a really good young man. And I think in lots of ways he wanted to stay. I don't think he had any desire to leave. So I think it was hard. But I think there was quite a bit of money thrown his way.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's things that he just thought that might help him, and we were excited to have him for the time we did.
Yeah.
And I think I think he enjoyed himself in Medicine Hat, and I think when he leaves the Tigers, he leaves with being a really high-rated player.
Yeah.
So I think we're proud of what we did to develop him, and it's an outstanding family. It's really, really too bad that it worked that way for our league. And
all the guys you've coached, and you got a real special talent, but there's been a lot of other special talents that you've been around, whether it's in the pros or in junior. Can you pinpoint, is it his hockey IQ? Is it his want level, his compete? What is it with him, Willie? Well, his vision, probably his vision of the ice. Mm-hmm. And with his vision, it's his ability to make the plays of that vision. Like, he did a couple things. Like, you can't even teach it. You can't even, you can't dream it even. It's just something that the gifted ones have, that they just come out of nowhere to do it. And he has that ability. And with that, he's very athletic. Like, he's got a great stick. And, with that, he's not a young man that accepts being average. He wants to be great. And, that's a great combination to have. With you guys now in the Tigers, and, I've talked to other teams around the league, general managers, coaches, front office, scouts, and all that, and they're saying, coming camp here to fall camp, we're going to have the most American kids coming up than we've ever had. Is that going to be the same thing in Medicine Hat for you guys? Yeah, for sure it is. It's harder because of the lists we have. We all have guys in certain age groups, mm-hmm. But all of a sudden we're losing guys from middle age groups, and the only way and everybody's got all the Canadian kids, so the only way to replace them is to try to find some older American kids to fit that age group. So I think there will be some more American players in the league. Do you think this is still kind of a few years away from really settling and how it's going to work? And, maybe there is going to be more agreements down the road between the NHL, the CHL, and NCAA. Do you think it's just it's still so new that no one really knows how everything is going to work? I agree with that. I think for sure there's lots of things, like where does a 17-year-old fit in to play against a 24-year-old? Mm-hmm. Like, their talent might be better, but they're just not as old and strong. So there's going to be a lot of people watching and learning this year. And, and next year there'll still be some experiments. And then the year after, I think it'll probably have settled out. But I think at the end of the day, like he said, he kind of alluded it to earlier. When you go back to your days, your 1973-74 Moose Jaw or Swift Current Broncos, and if someone comes with a big offer to go play NCAA, I think we all would have taken it, wouldn't we, Willie?
For sure. You always look at, but you also have to look at development. It's one thing to get something now. It's another thing for your development. So I think that's always the key for players is where are they going to develop? And I really don't think there's a better development league than the Western League. And I'm saying that honestly, not just because I'm part of it. I just think that. And I think, I think that's why we'll continue to get the best young talent. It's because we do a really good job of developing.
Do you think it'll just be a little bit of a younger league? Skill will be high. Like you said, we said the American kids are going to come up. Or will teams maybe start to pluck some older players that maybe were playing the junior A route?
Both. I think that there'll be more of the top end young guys with the league, and there'll also be a few more older players. And teams it'll be really interesting. As your first pick. When you're going through the Bantam draft, is that going to be a guy that will maybe be gone when he's 18 or 19? And you might want a guy that you think will be around longer, because their big impact will be 19 and 20. So there'll be lots of things that are going to change with it. But that's been, a fact before as well. But, there'll be a lot of thought going into exactly what type of player and you want, to kind of make up your roster.
Well, Willie, I appreciate you taking some time. I know it's kind of the off season for you, and you probably want to get away from hockey, but I totally appreciate it. We'll let you get back to maybe golfing down there in Cypress Hills.
Sounds good. You have a great day.
That is head coach and general manager Willie Desjarden of the Medicine Hat Tigers. What a wild ride it's been for him this year. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com and always on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. That's some big heavy metal music coming back there on a Thursday for Access Communications. They're trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Someone messaged a couple days ago, everything's blending together, maybe it was a week ago, asking why isn't the show on Access Communications? I was like, I don't know. Good question. Not for me. Way above my pay grade in both positions that I hold. If you are just tuning in today, we're kind of having some fun asking people what they think after 8 football games this season so far. How would you rank the Riders as far as if the awards were handed out right now? I know it's hypothetical. Offensive star, defensive star. We're going rookie and Canadian. Logan Ferland, from all the text messages that we got, running away with the Canadian side and the O-line side. We're not going to. So we've given the O-line to Logan. Although a lot of guys have played good. We've been through this. Rookie, there's been some debate there, and Joe Robustelli can be a rookie. Yep. And then defensive, it's all over the board, from Malik Carney, Shane Ray to AJ Allen. It's all over. So let us know. 936-6262 Prairie Land Rentals text line. If you follow the show, a couple of weeks ago, I went and used my neighbor's chainsaw, and I broke it. I thought I broke it. The chain fell off. So Sharky, being the real mechanically inclined fellow that he is, he's like, the chain just fell off. You just got to fix it.
It's easy.
So then he said, bring it in. I'll fix it. I'm like, bring it into the studio? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. So if you're watching the stream, sportscage.com through YouTube, there you see it right there. Right there. It's an old girl.
It's not that old. It's electric.
It's okay. It worked totally fine for my son and I as we hacked around a tree.
Couple of tips here when you're doing this. This is a chance to clean it out. You'll notice all this gunk we got in here. Mm-hmm. That's a chance to clean it out. That'll also be all over the inside of this part of your chain. Yeah. It's also really important to keep the chainsaw oil in there.
Is that a special oil, or can I use like an olive oil from my wife's cabinet?
It's not olive oil.
Okay.
It would do in a pinch, I'm sure, but you buy it at a chainsaw-specific place.
No.
Like Prairie Land.
Chainsaws are us?
Yeah,
we don't
Prairie
have
Land.
one of those in
Go to
Regina.
Prairie Land, say, I need chainsaw oil.
It closed down when they closed down the Spatula City.
Okay, this one's a little different because you had to take this cover off. Lots of them you don't have to take the cover off.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Pretty simple. You got the blade. Make sure there's a little clip here because hold this to the camera. There's a little screw here that you can tighten and loosen that moves the
tension
holder.
screw?
Yeah, that holds the blade, moves it back and
They
forth.
sell those at Chainsaws R Us?
They sell those at Prairie Land if you need them. By the way, not all chains fit all chainsaws.
That sounds like a Hallmark card.
For the serial killers, not all chains fit all chainsaws. You have to get the right chain for your saw by brand. So Poulin has a different chain than Stihl, than Husqvarna, than anybody else.
I like Husqvarna because when I go into Prairie Land Rentals, it's all Husqvarna. Again, I just borrowed this from my neighbor. He's actually on holidays. He doesn't even know I'm fixing it right now.
That's probably good for you.
And he said, I don't know how to fix it, so go nuts.
He didn't know how to do it either.
Nah, I don't think he wanted to.
Okay.
A couple of stubborn Ukrainians, him and I.
Oh.
And we're not very good at fixing things.
How can you guys be Ukrainian and not very good at fixing things?
We can lift a lot of things and move things around, but we can't. While we're doing that and you're watching Sharky on the stream, Bert texted in the other day, and I said, you got to text this in again, Bert. This is a fascinating story, and this is all allegedly. Preface it with that. It talked about when we asked Glen Suitor on Tuesday if his phone number was listed in the phone book back in the 80s, and he said yes, it was. So then Bert texted in, according to legend, Ron Lancaster did not have an unlisted number in Regina. In the 1979 Grey Cup, the Riders fell behind 10-0 in the first quarter, and some idiot fan phoned Lancaster's home to loudly complain to Ron's wife and family. Why wasn't she at the game? When the Riders pulled ahead in the second quarter, the same idiot phoned back and apologized to Miss Lancaster. I remember Ronnie telling the story on an interview years later. Thanks so much, Bert. Even if it's not true, that's a cool story. And I'm sure we're going to have other people text in now saying, I did hear that as well. I heard that as well.
The 76 Grey Cup was in Toronto, so that's probably why she wasn't at the game. But she probably didn't fly the families out back then.
It was 76. It wasn't 1906.
Might as well be to me.
Yeah. Now, she could have hopped on the Canadian Air or whatever was flying those days. What were the olden days? Canadian Air. There was a few of them.
There was a few of them.
Those big orange
Canadian
planes.
Airlines was one, I think. Yep.
We have Mike texting in, asking what else Sharky can fix.
It's limited. Chainsaws is one.
Don't forget, Sharky's looking for an old travel trailer or RV.
Yeah.
You want to help him out. Okay, so there it is. It's done.
No, it's not done.
Okay, well, we got to go to break.
It's on the way.
But you're doing a heck of a job.
Thank you.
We're going to read more texts here on the Riders' offensive side. We'll go to break. We'll come back. Sharky's going to keep working on the old pool in here.
Yeah.
It's a sports cage where Fix It Hour happens from time to time, as you're watching right now. And, of course, as always, we're streaming at sportscage.com. I think you broke it.
I didn't break it. It's just
Regina Red Sox, Medicine Hat Mavericks tonight, 7 p.m. first pitch at Curry Field. The Red Sox steal game one, 6-2 last night. It's only a best of three. They can wrap it up tonight. The park's going to be a buzz. Let's go. Winning pitcher last night, Landon Riley, in the save to Aiden Page. Moose Jaw, they also took game one. Surprising. Upset Wednesday in the league. From Saskatoon, 6-4, they go again tonight. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays are off at Los Angeles. That series starts tomorrow. It's going to be a good one. CFL week starts. BC and Hamilton tonight. BC, the underdog there. NFL preseason, looking to see if maybe a JoJo's in the lineup tonight as the Colts play in Baltimore. Philly is hosting Cincy, and the Raiders are playing the Seahawks. Sign up for the latest news from Riderville with the Sports Cage Insider Report. Sign up today by clicking on Insider Report at sportscage.com for your chance to win. The Sports Ticker is brought to you by Reliance Heat Water Heater Rentals, keeping you in hot and soft water. Call on Reliance. Sharky is done with the chainsaw. We're going to tackle that in hour two. We're going to talk to Arash Madani and head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, Jared Bednar, in the NASCAR report. So much more coming up. 936-6262 if you want to play along. We're having fun. It's the Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com. Okay, Arash, this is really the NFL preseason kind of fires tonight. We're waiting to find out. Colson's looking if Joe is going to be in the lineup for the Indianapolis Colts. But on the NFL to the CFL to just football in general discussion, huge news that the NFL is banning smelling salts or teams providing smelling salt. What do you know about this? Let our listeners know, make sense of it for us.
Yeah, so that's the distinction, Barney, that the NFL is not banning smelling salts. What they're doing is they're saying, we're not going to provide them for you anymore, for the players, which is basically avoiding future litigation in case a player is going to come out and say the league knew about A, B, and C, the medical team at the insert name of team here put me in a position that I didn't want to be in, and the smelling salts may have masked some things. The players can still bring their own stuff if they want, etc.
I'm bringing my duffel bag, my sneakers, and my tin of smelling salts. No, but it does, and as I read and I was listening to some different American shows today, how it can mask concussions. And that totally makes sense. It's been years since I've smelt the ammonia in a smelling salt. Okay, you don't like that, rebuttal?
I think it's all NFL-fed BS to their rights holders. So I reached out today to a few people who have worked in the medical field in pro sports, in a number of sports, including collision sports, including professional football. Because I didn't want to just get one person's opinion on this. I wanted to get a few. Among the things that was shared with me, and this was universal, guys. This is the bullet point that stood out. I'm reading it word for word right now. Okay. Weak argument that they can mask concussion symptoms. Like, all it takes is one person to suggest that maybe could, et cetera, et cetera. Look, to me, what a lot of this is one, trying to get ahead of potential litigation. The other is, and I know people may roll their eyes, but when you talk about the NFL, everything that they do with players is collectively bargained. We're 4 years away from the CBA coming up. We've already had the NFL have a complete, I don't even know what the campaign was to get the NFLPA executive director out, the smear campaign to get the executive director out and the president out. This is the league office attacking the players. They started with the union. Now, kind of piece by piece, they're starting to take away some things to get players' attention and to try and get the upper hand in the public opinion domain.
Smelling salts is going to get the upper hand in the public dominion?
What it's doing here, Sharky, is they're starting to mess with the players. And the players are coming out saying the league's taking this away from us. The league's saying, no. The players are trying to mask concussion symptoms by doing these things. We, the league, we're the ones who put this blue tent on the sideline because that really does a lot. It's one of those things where just kind of piece by piece, they're starting to kind of poke and prod. And this is just one of the. This one we just found out about because George Kittle brought it up on an interview. If not, we wouldn't have even known about it. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't hear about that is kind of taken away that will then lead to collective bargaining.
What do you think? What other items or what other scenarios would they be taking away to enhance the bargaining experience for them as the owners?
You know what's amazing about athletes? And especially like wealthy athletes, the little stuff goes a long way. Like, the first thing you don't mess with is a player's per diem, right? Like the $200 a day that they get.
Yeah.
So here you have, a guy making 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 20 million bucks, but you show up on a road trip and this envelope better be filled with cash.
No lunch money, no playing. Yeah.
Right. Don't mess with their per diems, for instance. on road trips, how many guys to a room? Like, these are the things that actually get determined. Do you get your own room after X number of years? Do you get a suite? Like, these are the things that are included in these conversations, which the owners love, because players get so caught up in how fancy is my hotel room. They're missing they're not seeing the forest beyond the trees.
They've never stayed at the Imperial 400 in PA. The Tropical Inn in North Battleford on the floor. Okay, is this the NFL just kind of like the parents in the room saying, "Hey, we still have upper hand here a bit."
100%.
And wasn't there something else? Now that you bring this up, I heard this week that the NFL is putting a cap or trying to look into players and their Super Bowl tickets that they get allotted, because all they do is sell them. I've went down the rabbit hole. Trust me, being to 2 Super Bowls, you find out a lot about how Super Bowl tickets and how brokers get tickets. And a lot of times it's from the players, and they make bank on it.
I remember talking to a former NFL player who was on the roster for a Super Bowl. And so the way it worked, this is going back a little while ago. At that time,
we need names. We need names.
There's no chance you're getting names. In those days, you get 4 freebies, but then you could buy up to 20 or 24 tickets. So the way he explained it was, you win the NFC Championship game on a Sunday. On Monday, you come to the facility. You have the 2 weeks between games. Monday is the logistics day. So the team services person comes in and explains how the travel is going to go. And then the coaches talk about what the practice plan is going to be. And then it's like how the families are going to get there. And then everybody from the team leaves the room and says, okay, now it's your Players Association time, which is code for the player reps have a contact with a dude, with a guy. And a guy comes in and says, look, I will buy any extra tickets off of you. In those days, I think it was like $750 face value, and $750 and $1,500 was lower bowl and upper bowl. I don't know what it is now. And when they got to the site, if you bought your 20 extra tickets at face value, literally a duffel bag of cash would be handed to you in exchange for the 20 hard tickets. And the guy I was talking to said he took the duffel bag, ran to his room, closed it, did the extra, latch lock on it, opened the duffel bag, threw it on the bed, threw the cash on the bed, and just started like laying all over the cash. Like, that's how blatant that everybody knew it all was.
When you're here in a few weeks, remind me to tell you that the Scottsdale mansion story on this broker that bought one of my tickets, but I bought the it's crazy how much money and the bodyguards that I walked into in this Scottsdale mansion. I was just like, is this where it ends for me? Is this how it goes down? Okay, but let's go back on track here. Smelling salts in the CFL. Where do they stand north of the border? And is there a tariff on them?
The teams do have smelling salts on the sidelines. Right now, at the moment, it's fine. Some are now wondering, okay, well, after all this nonsense, is the CFL going to step in and do something? Blah, blah, blah. As somebody told me, I've never heard of any restrictions, and the team did provide. As a medical person told me, they're available if people want them. So that's kind of where things stand on that.
They're not a great solution if somebody's knocked out. That's not what you want to do, is have them jerk their head if they're knocked out, right?
Right.
Slam their head back.
Unless you need them back in the game.
It's not just that. Like, talk about feeling like a fossil. Remember 5 whole years ago when the NHL bubble was going on? Mm-hmm. And there was nobody in the rinks. I remember during the Stanley Cup final, like they're trying to pump crowd noise in, whatever. And they do the national anthem, and then they kind of pan the bench. And 2 guys have the smelling salts going because there's nobody in there. You've been stuck in a hotel. You haven't had sunshine or fresh air in how long? They're just trying to get themselves going.
Yeah.
So it's not like this whole concussion thing is just... it's just trying to own a narrative that's just like a small piece to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from that. Let's go to the Blue Jays quickly. And I would love to see the Colorado Rockies play against the Regina Red Sox or the Regina Trappers in an exhibition game because they stink.
Yep,
and how about that? How about that spread?
20-1.
What gives?
So I was thinking about this. Like, if you picked a team to win 20-1 as your exact score, that probably paid 20,000 to 1. Honestly.
Oh, mama.
And for those watching the stream, most hits in a game, in a 3-game series in 125 years. So the Jays had 63 hits in 3 games against Colorado. They broke the record that the Red Sox set in 1901.
Holy smokes.
So, and guys, I don't know how to quite, the Colorado Rockies are 54 games below 500. Like, what are we doing here?
What's the point?
What is happening here? But they're averaging like 28,000 fans a game, and like, forget uncompetitive. It's just nonsense, and there's no consequence to the owner for not spending, and so here they are. Like, yes, the Blue Jays are impressive. It's still major league players, et cetera, et cetera. But to me, the bigger point here is that how, like, you talk about integrity of the game when it comes to gambling and all this other stuff. Where's the integrity of the game when it comes to having any kind of competitive roster where you're breaking records that are 125 years old for most offense and you're winning games 20-1?
It's not, I don't want to put this the wrong way, but it was gross to watch.
Yeah, it was. It was just like,
even if you're a fan, it was gross to watch.
It got to the point where it felt like a combination of a slow pitch home run derby and batting practice in the middle of a game.
Yeah. It really did, didn't it?
Was slow pitch guy out there with all of his wristbands and wrist guards and his
for a while I thought you were pitching,
and
Barney.
his sleeveless T-shirt.
Yeah,
hitting dingers with his SPN Nationals bag. What? The Los Angeles series though. I'm kind of now sprinkling. I won my first Blue Jay bet possibly in my life the other night when they were down to Colorado. I think it was 2-0, game 2 of the series, and I'm like. Took them -1.5, being down 2-0. They spanked them.
And they won by what, 14 runs or something?
Yeah.
I think it was like 15-1 or something, 15-2.
But the Los Angeles series will be really interesting. Okay, let's close on this tennis and Mbaku mania.
It's nice.
I'm not a big tennis guy, but watching this 18-year-old Canadian, like, it's big time.
So not only is she getting Naomi Osaka in the final tonight, we're talking about somebody who, like a year ago at this time, was playing in the middle of nowhere, Croatia, where the grand prize was something like $6,000.
A bag of smelling salts.
A bag of smelling salts. And tonight she could walk away with about $1 million. She began the year ranked 335 in the world, and now she can be top 25. And she's 18 years old. And guys, so often you hear coaches, players, sports psychologists, whatever, just say, hey, don't make this bigger than it is. Stay in the moment, blah, blah, blah. This kid actually does. Like, she treats 2-all, 15-30 in the first set the way she would a tiebreak with the finals on the line. She, like, nothing really phases her. There aren't real nerves. It's amazing to kind of witness this from somebody who's never been through it before. She's acting like she's been there before, but she's never been through this before.
She was ranked 335th in the world.
Yeah, she didn't even get ranked in the, or like seeded.
I can't even believe they rank that high. What am I ranked? Can you check in my men's ranking? Where am I? Like 335. Can we just end it at maybe 200?
This is the one place on earth, Barney, where you have a lot of commas.
Yeah.
After 335 for your only with the bank account.
But remarkably enough, a Canadian has won this in the last 6 years.
Yeah, and Bianca Andreescu did it in 2019.
Yeah.
I heard a story yesterday. I'm covering the men's tournament, and 3 years ago, when the women's tournament was here in Toronto, this kid's 15, she's a junior, and her coach at the time told a player, said, "Hey, she's good enough to win this thing now." And now here we are 3 years later, and she could do it tonight.
15. Imagine. I remember Jennifer Capriati when I was young. Like how young was she when she went on a run? Like it was just like my son can't figure out. He's 14 and he leaves the same pair of socks on the step and walks by him 4 times before we finally, hey, dude, take those to your room. And then these people are winning events. Seriously. Okay.
I think they're different parents. There's just some different parenting.
It's a parenting thing. More of a chainsaw guy myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done, Sharky.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, my man. We're 1 week closer to you coming to town at the Royal Regina Golf Course. I think there's only one table left. People want to check with Arash and Bruce Boudreau coming to town on August 28th for a ton of fun. Champagne reception.
Yeah.
Prime rib.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
I'd say get your popcorn ready, but I guess get your champagne flutes ready.
Yes.
I'll be asking for a side of orange juice for a little afternoon mimosa action over here. All right, Arash, see you, bud. Talk to you next week.
Take care.
Yeah, boys.
Coast to Coast with Arash Madani is brought to you by Brian Gawley, Smart Investing Solutions. Our boy Brian, he'll let you know how to be smart with your money. Contact him, 546-2533. Okay, quick break. We're going to come back with the Clutch Performer NASCAR report, and still ahead this hour, head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, Jared Bednar. It is a Sports Cage, streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM. All right, my Clutch Performer, let's go Regina Red Sox. Upset Medicine Hat, game 1 last night in the hat. Landon Riley chucking, winning pitcher. Aiden Page, young fellow with the name Aiden, of course. They got to be under 25 in that league.
I think so.
He had the save. They go back tonight, 7 p.m. at Curry, a chance to wrap it up. Only 3-game series. A little shout out, too, for Moose Jaw. They upset the mighty Saskatoon Berries in game 1. They're going again tonight, too. Those are my first 2.
That's good.
Clutch Performers.
Yeah.
Colson's got one?
Yeah. Sharky.
Thank you. Thank
for
you.
fixing the chainsaw.
Oof, chainsaw guy.
Yeah, that was a big move for you.
I got to look up what time Chainsaws R Us closes before to get some of that oil. Or figure out what doubles as chainsaw oil. If you didn't listen to hour 1 of the program, you're lost.
Use the proper oil, okay? Use the proper oil.
Other Clutch Performers, everyone picking up and cleaning up that mess of an accident.
Yeah.
At Vic and
Park. So close the whole intersection.
Yeah, so if you're going that way, it sounds, people are texting in, it sounds like it still might be a mess. Give us an update if you're out there, if everything's cleared up now. 936-6262. Clutch Performers for Nick's Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. Call 781-1077. Let's go to the NASCAR report.
The Sports Cage NASCAR Report, where rubbin' is racing, is brought to you by Croft Electric. 27 years of trusted, reliable home, farm, and commercial service for all your electrical needs. Visit croftelectric.com and on all socials.
William Byron got his second win of the year last weekend in Iowa. That moved him into first place in the overall standings over his teammate Chase Elliott. Byron has set himself up well for the playoffs. He's going in ranked number 1 if we were to start today. Those two are followed by their Hendricks teammate Kyle Larson. They hold down the top 3 spots overall in the NASCAR standings. The playoff picture did not change with the Byron win. There are still 3 spots open for race winners. Wow. And 3 races to go till the playoffs. The final 3 spots are held by Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, and Chris Buescher that are all in on points. Buescher has a 23-point lead on Ryan Preece for the final position. This week, upstate New York and the road course at Watkins Glen hosts Go Bowling at the Glen. Great name. Great name for a race.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. As it is a road course, sprinkle on those that seem to manage road tracks better. AJ Allmendinger, your guy.
Ew.
Shane Van Ginsberg, who has done fantastic at road courses this year with 2 wins already. They are better than average on those road courses, and Chase Elliott has a lot of success there. So if you're going to sprinkle, look for those 3.
Almond
Dinger. Love it.
Yeah. How'd you like to marry into that family?
Whew.
There's so many funny first names that we could go with, but we don't have the time.
Esther Allmendinger.
That is NASCAR report for Croft Electric.
Thanks,
in and
Crofty.
around Regina. They do some of the best work around. Follow them on all their socials. 27 years experience, whether it's for the farm, home, cabin, shop, whatever. Croft Electric can hook you up. We got Jared Bednar coming up, head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. It is the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. Sharky's with me, and Sharky is brought to you by Flooring Superstore in Regina. It's Thursday. It's for Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan. It's not every day you get an NHL coach on the program. Let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Perfect night for Western Pizza right now. We are joined by former Humboldt Bronco, Saskatoon Blade, Medicine Hat Tiger, Spokane Chief. There's a lot of junior teams in there, Jared, as I look through things. Thanks for making some time today, Coach.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. That list is long because, usually it's either because someone really wants you or because you're no good, and I feel like it's the latter in that category.
No, it's always because somebody's looking to upgrade. They need you.
I know all too well about that. How many different pairs of pants do you have at the end of the year from different teams? You're in Humboldt, obviously. Big event, BHP Golf Town, big supporters. The Humboldt Broncos Memorial Golf Tournament, hosted by yourself and Brian Munns. The obvious question, how important is it for you to come back and do something like this?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, it's been an amazing event. Our support, and especially from our sponsors and, all the patrons that come every year to support us. It's a lot of returnees, and it's been something that, since the accident we really wanted to do, and it kind of took off and got bigger than what we even expected. So we're really happy to do it and get back in the community and be able to give back to the community and to different charities around the province. And we started a scholarship program, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's lots of things that we're trying to do to help people out. And our support's been fantastic. And on top of that, it's just really good to get back and reconnect with people. And that you might have seen, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Some people I'm reconnecting with, it's been 10, 20, 30 years. And so it's been nice to rebuild some of those friendships.
So I understand that your father was your RCMP family, right? So you moved around a bit as a kid. So Sharky, same thing,
brother. Same thing.
But Humboldt was, let's call Humboldt home. When you go back, Jared, to those days, and you played Broncos, it looks like at a young age. What were the goals? When did you kind of know that you could have a future playing, some minor pro hockey or pro hockey, and then into the junior ranks?
Yeah, it took a while. I think growing up, my dad was stationed here twice, so I was here for most of my, elementary school, middle school, and high school. The goal was just to sort of follow in the handful of local kids that had made it and played for the Broncos, and that was a team that I wanted to play for my whole life. I was able to do that when I was 17, and as you kind of grow and continue to develop, your goals change as they should, and was able to move on to the Western Hockey League, and then you're starting to look like what's next. If you want to continue in hockey, what is that going to look like? So I started in the ECHL and moved on to the American League for a short stint in the old IHL, and that was as high as I could go. So I ended up going back to the ECHL at one point, and then that's where I retired and started my coaching career. So, but I think as a kid, for sure, my goal was I was all, grew up watching the Blades and some of their successful teams. It was either to play for the Broncos, or if I could go beyond that, it would go play for the Saskatoon Blades. And so I really enjoyed playing for both of those teams, and then ended up moving on from there. And then you just kind of follow the road and see where it takes you and try to play at the highest level I possibly could.
I know you have one, but I'm a Saskatoon kid, so I was a fan of the Blades back there.
Yeah.
Strushy and Sizzo out there ripping around, but even before that, right? Who talked to you from the Blades? Was it Lubanicki? Who came calling?
Yeah, it was Daryl Lubanicki. Yeah, it was. So I played with Strush and Sissons for the half year that I played there, and then ended up back with the Broncos. But I grew up watching like Kelly Chase, Tony Twist, Kaminsky. And, and funny enough, like this tournament that we're putting on after the tragedy, I ended up talking with Kelly Chase, who does a lot of, charity work, both in the U.S. and here in Saskatchewan. Yeah. And he said, you should find something to do in Humboldt. And him and Haley Wickenheiser were the ones that, whether they remembered or not, were like, you're a Humboldt kid and there's people there that want to try and help, and you should try and get something going and raise some money that would do the community good and bring people together. So, yeah, some of my, idols from back when I was a kid watching them play with the Blades, like some of those people were like really important to me and it helped me kind of make the decision to kind of, branch out and try to get into something that we could help give back to the Humboldt community and to others across Saskatchewan.
Jared, as I look at your age, date of birth, and all those things, I know that our fathers probably, if not worked together, knew each other very well through their Saskatchewan ties back here. First question to you, how many red brick buildings did you get to live in as the kid of an RCMP officer as you moved around the province?
A couple, for sure, yeah. There was a couple. I remember that, the big metal door in between the residence and the office, you just knock on it or bang on it, and Dad would open it up and we'd yell at him, it's time for lunch kind of thing. So there was a few of those. Not many, but we usually were off, not in the detachment, but there was a couple of those for sure.
My favorite story is one of the places we were at. We had a lot of family for Christmas. We ran out of beds, so all the kids went to cells. Dad put us all in cells for the Christmas time. Vonda, Saskatchewan, if you're looking for a reference. Jared, the Avs made a big move, I think anyway, a big move of getting Brett Burns to play on the back end for you guys this year. What do you see from what he's going to bring to your lineup, and where do you see him fitting in 1 through 6 with your D?
Yeah, well, we're really excited. I think we've got a solid D-core here now, and the addition of Burnsy, I think, is really important for us because he does a little bit of everything, right? And the one thing he is he's reliable. He plays all the time. His Ironman streak is the longest, I believe, in the league now.
Yep.
He's getting up there in age, but his ice time and the way Carolina used him, he was playing 25 minutes a night plus, and he's playing every game. So we've had some injury troubles here over the years. We've got some guys that can move around a little bit to do, a really nice job. Obviously, Kale runs our power play, and Taser's on that as well. But we have room for Burnsy in that regard, and then also with penalty kill and a lot of 5-on-5 minutes. So I think when you can get quality players like that can play a lot and they're available all the time, it just helps you be a stronger team. So we don't really number our guys 1 through 6. But there's a significant amount of ice time, I'll say, for all the guys. The more you can have a quality player like him on the ice and paired with guys and playing them to their strengths, another right-hand shot for us is great. I think he's got a skill set that will fit nicely with our team, and we're really excited to have him this year. And we're glad we were able to get something done in free agency.
You were without your captain for a long time after that Stanley Cup win, longer than I'm sure anybody predicted you would be. He comes back at the end of last year. Is the prognosis good? Do we think we're going to be 100%? We're going to be able to go forward, or is this a game-by-game scenario?
Yeah, no, I think it's good. You never can predict just how the wear and tear of a season's going to affect a player, especially coming off an injury like that. But that was the long road. There was times when I thought, he's going to be back here next month. Things are going good. And 6 months later, they were worse than where you're at the point before that. And it ended up taking 3 years, right? We won in 2022 in June, and he finally got with our team this year in the playoffs and made an immediate impact. I would never bet against Landy. I think that he's feeling good in his training. He thinks he's ready to go for the, long haul of the season. There could be some surprises, but he's feeling healthy. He's feeling good. I was really surprised with sort of the immediate impact that he could make with our team.
Yep.
Sort of the level of his play. We felt like he was going to be healthy and be able to get through the playoffs. But the level of his play and the impact he made was more than what I thought it would be, quicker than I thought it would be. Another off-season of training. I think it's looking really good for him. And he's such a huge part of our team, not just what he can provide on the ice, but this, the level of leadership and the way he connects with all our players, and he's an extension of the coaching staff. Like, having a guy like him in our room, he just seems to be the guy that calms everything down, keeps you on an even keel, and keeps you focused on the right things. That the intangibles that he brings to our team are going to be really valuable for us. So this is, it's really exciting to get him back, and we saw the impact that he can have in the playoffs, and we feel like that can just continue to grow again now that he's back on a regular basis. So, very positive sign for our team, no question.
Good to hear. My favorite hockey player of all time is Mike Modano. Second could be Joe Sakic. What is it's hard to when you he seems like he'd be a great guidance counselor at a school. Like, he just had, but he won and he had the fire. What's something about Joe Sakic that people don't know, Jared?
Yeah, he is as advertised. I think he's one of the nicest people in the game of hockey. I think he's a real genuine guy. He's a real understanding guy. He obviously has that sort of competitive fire, quiet, competitive guy. And he's proved that over the course of his career. And I think he has kind of the same approach. He's, as a manager, as a president, he was our GM and now president. And he, with all the experience that he has, he's really understanding of what you're going through as a team, not just for you as a coach and for your team, as a whole, as a group, but also being able to sort of, discuss with players what's affecting them, what he thinks they can do. And obviously, if you have a guy like Joe talking to you about your game, you're going to listen and take it to heart. And so I don't think there's any real surprises. What you hear about Joe and the way he is and how humble he is and how caring he is, he's just a terrific person and a terrific manager and, an unbelievable person. And that's the type of the people you want around you and supporting you and encouraging you and giving you a kick in the pants if you need it. It's coming from the right place, and he cares about what you're doing and what the team's doing and everyone involved. So it's a pleasure to be able to work with them. I didn't know him before I went there, and he hired me to do the job. And there's times when, especially after my first year and many times in between now going into year 10, where I think a lot of other managers or presidents, would have made a change in my position, and he showed and trusted me, and it paid off in 2022, and we're hoping to try and repeat a performance like that again this season.
Okay, we've got a couple minutes left because then we got to let you go. When you guys are practicing at the South Suburban Family Sports Center, where my daughter actually played this year, I got two questions. I was sitting there thinking, I wonder if they ever have fun in close practice. Do you ever have Makar and McKinnon race red line to red line opposite? And who would win?
No, that'd be close.
Wouldn't it?
Even though they're such different skaters, they're both very explosive. I think that race would be close. We've never had them race. We used to do things like that in the minors. Every time there'd be a big disagreement in the locker room, it could be over the dumbest thing, like some movie quote or whatever. Who's right? Someone would yell out in the room, "It's a race! It's a race!" And you'd schedule the race before practice, and then you have 20 guys that are calling for this race, so they'd have no choice but to go through it. But we haven't done that, since I've been to the NHL. But there's always a little competitive things like that. But I got to say, they're both elite skaters, and I think that race would be really
Okay, so the other question, I got it when I talked to somebody from the Avalanche. I got to ask him this just dumb Barney question I have. Do you guys fly out of that airport across the street from the practice rink?
No, I wish we did.
Oh,
yeah, that would be very convenient. No, we go all the way out to DIA. It's a little ride to get out there, but
yeah. And windy.
The travel days when you're trying to practice and then get out of town. My practices are short and sweet. Get them out of there and get the bags packed up because you got a little bit of a ride there, especially if there's traffic before you get out to get to the next city.
Okay, so and then last question for you. We always ask this on the podcast that we do too. When you go back to your younger days playing around Saskatchewan, you didn't play in the Communiplex or the Elgar Peterson, which was the Uniplex back then. I think you were even pre that in Humboldt, the old rink. But when you go back, what small town rink was your favorite to play in, not Humboldt?
Yeah, I did play in the new rink.
Did you? Okay.
But there is, when you're in minor hockey in Saskatchewan, I can't remember the names of all those little towns. We basically for years just played tournaments on the weekend. Like, I don't even think we had a league that we played in. We practiced all week and then head to like tournaments around Saskatchewan. But I do remember when it's cold, and I mean really cold. If you're going into some of those rinks and you can see daylight in between the barnwood, and you're going in there, and there's birds flying around inside, like some of those rinks, and they'll test your they'll test your will, like it's
big time.
You're wearing toques underneath your helmets and all that. I don't know how much that happens anymore or what those rinks look like now, but I'm assuming some of them are still standing.
There's a few.
There's a few. Vonda
people from the U.S., when you're explaining it to the players that grew up in all these cities, they don't understand it until you can try and show them some video that you dig up from the archives.
Vonda be close to that.
Vonda's still cold. Prudhomme's still cold. There's a ton of them, but Jared, I know you got to get going. The golf tournament things are tomorrow and Saturday in Humboldt. Thanks so much for making time. Thanks for doing this, coming back to the province and doing what you do there. Totally appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, you guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for spreading the word.
Right on.
Cheers.
There's head coach of the Colorado Avalanche, former Humboldt Bronco, Jared Bednar. Colson says we're up against the clock. We got to get going. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com. It is game day for the Red Sox, trying to wrap up the 3-game series and upset the Medicine Hat Mavericks. 7 o'clock first pitch at Curry Field. Looks like the weather's going to hold. Also, Moose Jaw upset Saskatoon in Game 1 yesterday. Game 2 tonight. Blue Jays are off. They start that big series with Los Angeles tomorrow. NFL preseason tonight. We're still waiting to hear if Joe will be in the lineup for the Indianapolis Colts as they play Baltimore. Phillies hosting Cincinnati Raiders versus the Seahawks. And in the CFL tonight, BC is in Hamilton. BC paying $270 as the underdog, and the over-under is 54.5. Right now at Extreme Hockey and Sport in Regina, they got the price match guarantee. If you're big on shopping local, whatever you need, go find a better price. They will match it at Extreme Hockey and Sport, the home of sports in Regina. All right. Let's go on to the phone lines. And we have Brian Raymond from Flowing Springs. Brian, speaking of the weather holding off, it's probably going to be a beautiful night, it looks like, to go swing the wrenches.
You know what? There was hardly anything booked for this evening, and I had to run an errand into town. I came back, and the people are lined up to go to the golf course. You know what it's like? The sun comes out, and it's like a switch turned on, and everybody's out here.
Nice. Like it.
So should people maybe still tonight, if they want to take advantage of the special? Because what time can you play till right now?
Right now, you can probably play till about 8:45. I think the sun's going down around 8:30, so probably 8:45, 10 to 9, it'd be getting pretty dark. But, we still have some bookings for tonight, so if anybody's interested, by all means, give us a call. We can get you on. And, of course, every day after 3 o'clock, we have our early twilight at only $38, and that applies on the weekend as well.
Now's a good time to talk about, too, if you just want to go out. The driving range is open. We've talked about that a lot. It's grass. You're hitting off grass. The club repair. And then, Brian, 9 holes. People sometimes just want to play 9.
That's actually that happens quite often because of time limitations, or perhaps that's all they want to play. And yes, you can come out and play anytime for 9 holes. We have a 9-hole rate that's available any time of day for you. All
right. Tomorrow we'll talk about some of the corporate events if people are still looking to plan. But if people want to go out and book, how do they find you?
Well, we got lots of bookings for the weekend, so give us a call at 306-543-5050, and you can book online at flowingspringsgolf.com.
Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow, Brian.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
Brian Ram, Flowing Springs. Great night to golf.
Great night.
Baseball or golf?
Just go hit the driving range. Loosen up. Get ready for the weekend.
I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
I need to putt. I need to practice putting. SportsCage, we're going to break hour 3. We got Glen Suitor standing by. We're streaming at sportscage.com. Welcome back. That was an eventful hour 2.
We had a lot going on.
Arash Madani, the NASCAR report for Croft Electric, and then Jared Bednar, head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. We could have talked to him for 45 minutes.
We could have easily.
An hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
The RCMP stories that you guys could have.
Oh, the residences, yeah. There's still puck marks on the garage door at Vonda. I was by there the other day.
Hour 1 was awesome, too. Willie Desjarden joined us, and Sharky fixed my neighbor's chainsaw live on the air, if you missed that.
Yep.
Because we've had some text people that said, did Sharky fix the chainsaw? Yes, he did.
Yes.
I'm getting an Al Borland vibe from Sharky, somebody said.
Did have a plaid on today.
Somebody said, don't let Sharky, or Sharky does not understand engines.
It did not have an engine. It is electric.
You can participate, 936-6262, the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street. You get to deal with the owner. They've been in business a long time. They can rent anything.
Chainsaws included.
And then if you're watching on YouTube, you just comment on the YouTube feed if you really want to watch us. I'm wearing a Red Sox shirt tonight. I'm debating going to the park, but I got hockey pickup and some other things going on at 7 o'clock. First pitch.
Up 1-0.
Playoff baseball's good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something if Moose Jaw upset Saskatoon and then the Red Sox upset, and then we got a Moose Jaw?
We had it last year. We'll have it again. I love it.
You and I will do a show from there.
Sure, why not?
Is that a best of 3 too?
Yeah, they're all best of 3s. Yeah.
Better be on your toes. Yeah, text in if you got any questions. If you got any questions for our next guest as well, Glen Suitor.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Rough Rider legend Glen Suitor on the Sports Cage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
Good to see you, Glenn, today out there on the left coast. Not throwing any curveballs at you today. We're just going to come at you straight through the chute. We're waiting to see. We're trying to pull up to see if a Joe's in the lineup tonight for the Indianapolis Colts against Baltimore. But the CFL game tonight, I like this one. I'm curious. I'm obviously going to be sprinkling on it. BC in Hamilton. Does this one intrigue you?
Oh, big time. Absolutely big time. Like I think the Lions are nipping at being a competitive team that could make noise in the playoffs. They're not there yet, but they're just under the surface of it. And what I mean by that is I think they can score with anyone with Nathan. They can score with anybody. They can keep pace scoring on offense. Have you been
drinking all day, Glenn?
Yeah.
Is this the same Lions team that everyone else has been watching?
No, yes, it is, because they can score with anybody. They can't stop anybody. That's the problem.
So you're saying quarterback's not the problem, it's defense.
Defense is their problem. Defense is the BC Lions' problem. They can't get stops when they need them. And this will be one of their greatest challenges all season, to play Hamilton in a half hour. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this matchup. Bo's on a run. Front runner for MOP, and along with Trevor, of course. And I wish I was drinking.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the porch waiting for the bear to come by. I like it.
Where is Bob the bear? Do we have an update on Bob?
Yeah, I haven't seen Bob in the last couple of days, but you know what's happening now? I had to do some almost sort of landscaping, I'll call it, in my backyard. A lot of overgrown stuff happening. You know, when you get on the road for football season, all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Backyard, and it's overgrown with prickle bushes and stuff like that. So I thought, this morning I have a few meetings. I'll get rid of those, and then I'm going to get out there, put an hour in. But it's also right by a creek that is kind of a green space between houses where Bob actually hangs out. Like he's walking. Yeah, he's walking back and forth there all the time. So, I'm clipping branches looking over my shoulder. Every time a little snap or a squirrel ran by or something, I'm like, what? Is that Bob? What?
Do you have spray? Do you have some sort of defense mechanism other than a shovel?
Well, you know what's happening now, honestly, Sharky, is that, and I've seen it happen across the street when Bob walked by, people are now coming out of their homes to go and watch Bob. And, they're faster than you think. They can move. They can move when they want. They don't look like it. Yeah. They lumber around like they don't care what you're doing. But this is my concern with Bob, because when I've seen someone run out of their house, take a look and take pictures, and they're getting a little closer than they should be. And Bob just doesn't care. I mean, he kind of looks up, looks at them. It's not like he scatters and takes off because he's afraid. He's not afraid anymore. He's walking around the neighborhood all the time, and he's just walking around. So I don't want to be clipping branches in the bushes and have Bob just kind of walk up on me and then I turn around and meet him up close and personal. But I'll keep you updated. I've got my phone ready.
Wouldn't that be a story?
Yeah.
We would lead with it.
Glen Suitor is not available tonight.
TSN analyst Glen Suitor mauled by a black bear while cutting weeds.
Film at 11.
The black bear won.
If people are like, you don't tune in that often, we talk about it all the time. Glenn has a black bear that frequents his house. We have video of it. If you're watching the stream, there it is again. It's huge. And this is the video of him doing his business on Glenn's lawn. So we've labeled him Bob the Bear, and we'll have an update every time we talk to Glenn. It's just how we're doing things. Back to the football game.
Yes.
That game a couple weeks ago, Hamilton, BC, 37-33. BC did a good job of taking away Kenny Lawler as best they could, but then Bo just said, that's fine, double team him. I'm going to throw to everybody else in the park.
Yeah, and just use the rest of his receiving core, and he has found a comfort level in Scott Milanovich's offense. He actually mentioned it after the game when interviewed on the sideline, and he said, I am playing my best football of my career, and that's saying something with Bo. It is with Trevor as well, and I mentioned that in Montreal, but it is certainly with Bo. When he started with a great win-loss record back in his early Calgary days, he was like, you just could tell this was going to be a Grey Cup champion. And now to be playing at his age, his best football is really remarkable. But he's giving credit to Scott Milanovich. I think for a long time, Bo was in the same system and was completely asked to do different things, read defenses differently under Scott Milanovich's offense. And in the first year, he kind of fought it. It was like teaching an old dog new tricks. Mm-hmm. He was kind of saying, no, I've been really good doing what I do. And, he's not literally saying this, but just subconsciously doing it and saying, I can get this done without getting all complicated in your new thing. And Scott benched him. Remember that last year? Bo Levi Mitchell got benched.
Yeah. Yep.
So, now he's playing his best football, and you're right. As soon as you take away one, and the strategy for BC that game was to make sure they didn't give any explosives up to Lawler. So they let them catch anything underneath and then rallied to make tackles. And in the end, when it was a one-score game and Bo had the ball last, that was a problem now. Yep. Now your defensive game plan is to give up all those underneath routes, and it was Keandre Smith that had 5 catches for 10 yards a catch, and they go in and score to win the game. So, it's got to be a different strategy now. Rely on maybe 1 or 2 defenders to work on Lawler. I still think you got to pay extra attention to him.
So we started off the show talking about Nathan Rourke, and is he having trouble after he came back from his NFL tryouts? Is he the same Nathan Rourke that he was in the past? We agreed that not as impressive as he was his first go-around in the CFL. What's the difference for him? What do you see as the difference in Rourke, and how's he going to get out? How's he going to get back to what he was?
Yeah, I think he's getting there. He's pretty close. I really do. I think when he first came back was the real drop-off. And, at that point, he had been in talking about systems and offensive systems. He had been in 3 different ones or 4 different ones, I think 2 in the NFL, two different teams down there, the Lions previous, and then the Lions when he came back. And then there was the issue, which really, as a professional athlete, shouldn't affect you that much, but it was the issue of him and Vernon Adams. And it was Vernon Adams' team, and Vernon Adams was an MOP candidate. Then he was hurt when Nathan came back, so it wasn't really a decision by Rick Campbell. I mean, he was playing Nathan because Vernon was hurt.
Yep.
But when he became healthy, they left Nathan in. Vernon didn't come back. Part of the team thought that was unfair. And one of the reasons I think, they won't say it publicly, but I think one of the reasons that they made a change at the head coaching position in BC was his management, Rick Campbell's management of the quarterback situation at that time. And it wasn't ideal for Nathan either. Now he's coming back and half his team is going, hey, the wrong guy's playing or whatever. And that's a difficult situation to be in. So now I think he's back. 2 games ago, when he got the ball for their first drive, they were down 10-0. In the Hamilton game, every time they scored and put together a drive and looked like they were gaining momentum, Hamilton came back and scored because their defense couldn't get a stop. Couldn't carry on the momentum that a 10-play drive by Nathan Rourke just created. And so that scoring back and forth, you started to get the feeling that the last team to have the ball is going to win, and that's what happened. But I think in that game, we saw him back in that 22 form. I really do, Sharky. I think he is back. I just think he needs a little bit more help in the other phases.
What's the NFL, and I think you've heard, NFL are banning teams from supplying smelling salts or whatever verbiage you want to use to players. CFL sounds like it's still readily available. Have you been following the story? What's Glen Suitor's take on it?
Yeah, and talked to some people in the not in the league office, but in the league today, and there really is no policy. There's no official policy. However, what I've heard now is that there'll be from the league office, they're going to take a look at all the new literature that's out there and the reason for this decision down south. I mean, they work very closely together. So especially when there's a player safety issue, both leagues will communicate back and forth. I know that Stuart Johnson will make the call down south and say, hey, tell us what you're doing and why you're doing it and show us the literature, and then we'll possibly make the same decision in the future. But right now, as of right now, I guess it's up to the team trainers and doctors per team if they want to supply it for players. I know it was readily available back in the old days, and I've seen it used now. It's a little strange to me, though, guys, that the NFL says it's not allowed. We're not allowing our teams to give it to you, but you can still use it.
Yeah, litigation. Hey, they're covering their butts for the law, for the court case.
That has to be the only reason for this. This is a business decision and nothing more. So let's not pretend that it's a player safety thing and we're worried about the players sniffing whatever is in that stuff. Because to be honest with you, I'm not sure. But I used it all the time. I just was never sure what was in it. But I think it's a litigation thing, that just protecting themselves, because I don't know, that's not even a rule now. You can use it. We're just not going to give it to you. So go get it yourself.
If you're wondering what's in it, it's the same smell that's in the bottom of the chicken coop. So as a kid who had to clean the odd chicken coop, exactly the same smell as the bottom of the chicken coop.
Sharky, I don't want to hear that. I don't know how much.
So that's what you were snorting, was a little chicken poop. There you go.
How many times I inhaled that? Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, it's weird. They're covering their butt legally, I'm sure. But I do know that the CFL is going to look at all the literature, and if they feel like there is a player safety angle here that they can protect players, I'm sure we'll see some sort of policy.
The NFL is the biggest TV show in the world. They're huge. They're watch the trickle-down effect to other leagues, not just the CFL. The CFL is obviously working close with them. Hockey leagues, Where else would they use it? I don't know. If they would probably don't use it in basketball, but that because it on hockey benches all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see where it goes.
Any contact sports, really, because the thought was back in the old days, at least for a lot of us that were using it, where it was if you felt a little groggy, like if you either because you slept in a little bit and missed the alarm and you got late to the stadium, or you were in a big collision and coming out of that collision, you don't want the trainers to know, but you're walking to the bench and you're doing a little smelling salts because you're thinking, wow, I got to clear my head a little bit here.
Yeah.
Which is no longer allowed. Like any head injury now, forget it. You're gonna be in the 10.
There's been a few guys that have hidden some good ones still. But it's tricky. Okay, so we started the show. We had a bunch of people text in hour one. We'll bring it back a bit here. And I know you don't like to be prediction guy, so we're not asking for predictions.
No.
We're asking, after 8 games, for the Riders, a few different 8-game trophies, if we could hand out. Yeah. Starting with most outstanding player offensively for the Saskatchewan Roughriders to this point in the season. Who would Glen Suitor say?
Trevor Harris. No question. Trevor Harris. Like it's, I mean, when one night it's Keyshawn Johnson, when the next night it's Dante Myers, when it's, Emelis another night, when AJ Ouellette, has close to 100 yards rushing, when Jake Mayer's in, it's a different guy. And let's not forget the pick sixes from the defense and the 8-sack game. There's a lot of reasons for them winning, but the one consistent factor, the one guy that is, just making the right decisions, protecting the ball, not giving the opponent short fields, and scoring when he needs to score, understanding game management and understanding when the urgency has to be there. That's Trevor Harris. I mean, that's how. So for sure, that's an easy one. All right. What's next?
Defensive. Yeah. Defensive side of the ball.
Jameer Thurman. I'm going to take Jameer Thurman, or of late it's been one of those D linemen. I'm almost kind of leaning to Micah, but
there we go.
That's only been the last couple of games, 2 or 3 games. I think earlier than that, sort of the glue was Jameer. I mean, he's kind of that straw that stirs the drink guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jameer Thurman.
Our next one was rookie.
Oh.
And that's where we are considering, because it's our show and our game, so we can do whatever we want. We are considering Robustelli a rookie.
Okay, I was going to say, are you putting him in that category? And I guess not Tavon, because he's been there.
No.
God, no.
Tavon,
okay.
No. He's made America money. He's made Americanos. Too.
Yes. And not Shane Ray, because he played a couple of years in Toronto.
Yeah.
So not him. So you're giving me Robustelli or Peyton Collins, possibly?
Yeah, but Collins has only played 2 games, right?
But then there was somebody, who was the other, a couple other people text in. Daniel Johnson.
Daniel Johnson. Collins only played a couple of games. It's got to be Robustelli. I mean, he was one of the guys, when we talked about different people stepping up at different times. I mean, that was a 200-yard game that Robustelli put on the board. So he kind of he automatically allowed Corey Mace to sleep better at night when he lost Sam Emelis and he lost Schaefer Baker in the first series of game 1. And those are 2 key Canadian receivers. And he's going like, how many receivers do I have in reserve? How many do I have on the practice roster? And will any of them be able to step in and become a guy? And Robustelli, American or not, and become a guy. And Robustelli did. So I think that allows the coach to sleep a little better at night.
Without a doubt.
Offensive lineman is Logan Furland. And you can't win twice in this game. Another stupid rule that we made up. We do allow smelling salts.
We do allow smelling salts
at the current moment until we rejig the clown show here. The top Canadian It can't be Logan Ferland.
Okay. Top Canadian. I like Tavon Campbell in this.
That's my
this
guy.
one.
That's my guy.
That pick 6 against BC, that was the play. And I thought in the first 2 games, I watch the secondary away from the ball quite often, especially when I'm watching games back at home. I'll be watching the secondary more than anything because I'm most familiar with that part of the field. But Tavon, I thought, started slow as he was understanding the angles and the difference in the spacing. Basically, like zone defenses have different spacing up here than they do down there. And he spent all that time, and he had to sort of break some of those habits, I'm sure. The other thing about playing, because I played all my college ball, I played U.S. rules, 4 downs and American field and all of that, and a few. So that's the one thing I noticed immediately, that when you're playing corner in the U.S., your sideline is right there as an extra player because the field is much narrower. So you're even if you're the wide side corner, your sideline is your friend, and he's an extra defender. In the CFL, that is gone. Like you have 20 yards out there for guys to run routes, and I thought Tavon had a bit of a slow start with the first couple of games, but he came on, and I'm not sure he's been beat since. Honestly, I can't remember.
I don't think he has. No,
I can't remember someone getting in behind him, and then there's the pick 6 that sealed the deal or basically won the game against BC.
It's funny because I remember talking to Drew Bledsoe once and just talking about the Canadian game, and I was like, yeah, Drew, like wouldn't that be awesome? You could run a post pattern from the 1 and hit somebody, and then he talked about the sideline. He's like, because the NFL, he goes, how hard is that to cover guys when you got that much more sideline?
Exactly.
Like,
it's a big difference. It's a big difference.
And the waggle.
Yeah, they're coming full speed.
As some quarterbacks call it, the Tweety bird. They do this, or the twirly word. That motion to the line, when teams are on a roll, they'll run the bunch formation with 3 receivers in that bunch that are all sort of moving towards the line. One's coming laterally along the line, and the others are going towards the line of scrimmage. And then on the snap of the ball, they break out, and it's almost impossible to play man against it. So you're going to get zone looks, and it gives the quarterback a great advantage. So that sideline being way out there is completely different.
Okay, so you only have the 1 game this weekend, right? You're doing the Winnipeg.
Yeah, I have the 1 game, guys, Winnipeg, Calgary, and I was just thinking, and I want to ask you guys this.
Oh boy.
Have the Bombers lost that mystique? Is it over as far as the mystique goes? Because, I think, was it you, Sharky, that said at the beginning of the year that I want to see, it might have been Maz, but I want to see when they play on Labor Day and the Labor Day rematch. That's when we're really going to know if the Riders are. Well, I think they don't have anything to prove. They're a great team, and they're playing very well right now. Their level of excellence is there. But I'm wondering about the Bombers.
Ask me something. I got to get something.
like the Bombers basically, I mean, they won. They beat Toronto.
Yep.
And Willie Jefferson did Jefferson stuff, knocking passes down and sacking quarterbacks and all the stuff he does. But Barney, I don't know where you're going with this, but but I'm just wondering, like, when you played the Bombers the last 5 years, they were up by 7 before they even did the odds.
Yep.
Because there was this mystique about them. They were impossible to beat, especially in Winnipeg.
I don't think the mystique of them's gone. I think it has aged. I think that's how I would regard the Bombers. They've aged, and they're showing their age. Father Time is winning again. That's how I'd put the Bombers.
Up?
We started. You started talking about when you're doing yard work, and Bob.
Yeah.
Hour 1 of the show, Sharky fixed my neighbor's chainsaw that I broke.
Yeah.
How did you break it?
It didn't really break it. The changes fell off.
Changes came off. So it wasn't broke. Chain fell off.
It was definitely
It didn't
not
have
a
any
job.
chain oil in there either. It was like completely dry. No chain oil.
That'll be a problem.
I'm a better man. I learned something today. Can I still fix it on my own? I don't think so. But it was a little bit of a learning session.
You actually can't do anything wrong. Like, you couldn't wreck it.
Oh, that's a challenge.
Be careful with that chainsaw. I mean,
it's an electric one. He can't do that much damage with this thing.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
The blade's only, I think, about 12 inches. Yeah, it's not. There's nothing to worry about.
Goggles. Make sure you wear goggles, and definitely use smelling salts if you need them.
Have a good weekend, Suits.
Okay, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Take care.
And, press coverage with Glen Suitor. It's brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They're going to treat you right for all your plumbing and heating needs. 781-2090. We'll go to break. We'll come back with a ticker and more tomfoolery. It's the Sports Cage streaming at sportscage.com and on 620 CKRM. 7 o'clock. First pitch tonight. Curry Field. Regina Red Sox hosting Medicine Hat Game 2 of the best of 3. If you missed it, Regina won last night. Little bit of an upset. They're trying to wrap up the series tonight. Punch their ticket to round 2. Also, Moose Jaw upset Saskatoon last night. They're going to Game 2. They can wrap it up, and then it'd be Moose Jaw and Regina. But still lots of baseball left. And I heard it's almost sold out.
Hang on.
It's almost sold out this evening at Curry Field. And Maz had Gary Brotzel on yesterday, and Brotzel said, be careful if you're buying anything on the secondary market, because there's some shady stuff going on there. I'm sure if you showed up at Curry Field...
There's a secondary market for Red Sox
with
tickets?
cold, hard cash, you're going to get into the ballpark tonight. 7 o'clock first pitch. Major League Baseball. Blue Jays are off tonight. They start in Los Angeles tomorrow. NFL preseason. I'm trying to watch the game while doing this show, while trying to polish up my chainsaw. Trying to do 3 things at once. Joe, I haven't seen him in the lineup yet for the Indianapolis Colts. He's jersey number 9. He hasn't been in, but Colts are playing Baltimore right now. Philly hosting Cincy, Raiders, and the Seahawks. And then the CFL week starts tonight. As we just talked to Glen Suitor, BC Hamilton, very intriguing game. BC's the underdog. A lot of points scored the last time these two teams played. So we'll see what happens there. Hour 3 sports ticker is for Steelcraft Doors Regina. New 40,000 square foot showroom and warehouse is open in Regina. If you need a garage door, they have it. Made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Seating does look very limited for the Red Sox game, but
I would think most people would stand that are late in the game now.
Get there, bring cash.
How does the standing room thing work?
It doesn't show standing room.
Are the ushers above board, or can you slip the usher maybe a 20 spot and get in?
Yeah, you could slip the usher some cash. I can see that.
I like those kind of facilities.
Yeah. But if you want, it's going to be a great night for baseball. Why wouldn't you go to the Red Sox game? Playoff game against Medicine Hat, chance to win a series. It's a place to be.
It's interesting how the weather has kind of changed. The
weatherman is like they can't get 20 minutes right.
Okay, you sound like an old geezer is what you sound like right there.
Do you know what the weather's like? Stick your head outside.
No, they don't know what they're talking about. But it's supposed tomorrow and Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Club championship at the Royal.
100% now, 10 to 15 millimeters.
That thing's going to be a wash, literally.
Yeah, and last 57K wins.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not playing golf on Saturday. I'm driving to the lake. I got next week off.
Yeah.
Holidays.
That looks like a bad day for golf. Sunday looks better. Saturday looks bad.
Hey, how about this? Isn't it fantastic that the Riders don't play at home on Saturday and it's next Saturday against Hamilton?
Nice. Yes. That game is huge. To me, that game is bigger than Labor Day.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, settle down.
2 top teams.
Well, yeah, but it's still so early.
No, it's one of those benchmark games right there.
I am very intrigued for sure about it. And then the back-to-backs with Winnipeg.
Yeah, to me, like I said, Winnipeg's aged. And like milk. They've aged like milk. Yeah, I'm not buying Winnipeg.
Speaking of milk,
and they weren't stored properly, so they haven't turned into cheese.
Cheese.
Has anybody else noticed with milk lately that it's milk in the last year? I seem to find when we buy milk, it spoils quicker than ever.
Don't drink it. Don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll report back, but that's what I'm finding at home.
Okay.
Yeah, but tonight, I'm not confident taking BC as the dog. I was looking at sports.
I'm betting the favorite.
Hamilton?
Yeah.
At home, sold out.
Yeah.
Right? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I had a different over-under than you. I had a higher one. I had 56.
That's I don't know. Oh, it's already
underway.
He's already brought the
NBA
trophy, whatever it's called.
Good for him.
The Larry O'Brien.
O'Brien and Murphy. There he is.
Now, unlike the Stanley Cup, they make a new one each year for basketball.
Yeah. Well, Stanley Cup is kind of unique in that way.
It is very
Cup,
unique.
Grey Cup is unique.
Yeah.
I don't mind either way, to be honest.
I wrote that down for a lazy week, which I guess this counts because it's a bye week. As a question.
Lazy week. Probably
week.
the toughest week to fill 3 hours ever.
Slow week. Wrong word. But I literally wrote that down as a question. What do you guys find more kind of valuable? A trophy that's remade every year, like NBA, NFL, World Series trophies remade every year, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that more valuable, or one that has the names on it, carries the tradition with it?
For sure, the tradition one.
I'm without a doubt the tradition guy. Yeah.
That's what I
think the
figured.
one that carries the names all the time.
But I don't mind. You win. You win. Like, I think it's...
And you get to keep it. You can, if you win multiples,
You keep that version.
You can get somebody to make you one, put it up in your house and on your mantle.
They do get some smaller Stanley Cup ones, don't they? Plus the ring.
It's like when you win a banner. Like when we won the banner at the big AAA tournament. I got 4 made for all the coaches, so each coach could have one.
How big did you get them?
Small.
Oh,
with all the roster on it though.
Nice.
Too.
You're a good man. I don't know why people are so hard on you. You're a good man.
But back to the lazy week comment.
Slow week. I used the wrong word. Slow week.
We spent 7 minutes repairing a chainsaw in hour 1. We're
live
trying to fill 3 hours of content. Thanks to we have great listeners and text message and people that like to play along as we go here, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on the Prairie Line Rentals text line or through YouTube.
Tokyo?
Yeah, that was the other day. Tokyo guy.
Yeah,
he was a guy.
That's cool.
Quick note on the championship thing, though. Do you know which team did the first ever championship ring?
It's a ways back too.
Yeah.
What sport?
Like it's in the 40s.
It's hockey.
Oh.
1893, actually.
What?
Really?
Yep.
Allmendinger was around.
The Montreal Hockey Club. They didn't even properly have names yet. And then the several other teams did do championship rings in the early 20th century, but they didn't make like an annual custom out of it until the 60s. And then the New York Giants beat the Yankees in 22, and that was the first World Series ring. In 23, the Yankees returned the favor, and they got pocket watches instead.
It's a pocket watch time.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Yes. Not so much anymore.
What's the time? Hey, Allmendinger, what's the time over there?
So if you're coming up with these ones, do you know where the hat trick comes from?
That's Montreal too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I was pretty sure that was Montreal.
But if you scored 3, a Montreal haberdashery made you a hat.
Right.
And that's when felt hats would have been the thing. Well, that guy's having a bad day.
Yeah. There's some stuff going on. Corner and 12th rows. It's a Sports Cage. Still streaming sportscage.com through our YouTube channel and always on. Home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. If you missed any of the show today on this Thursday for Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security, you can go back and listen to it, podcast form, or watch it on YouTube. Great discussions. Willie Desjarden.
Yep.
In hour 1, GM, head coach of the Medicine Hat Tigers, touching on the Gavin McKenna. I don't want to ruin it, but when I ask him, when did you think that there's a good chance Gavin was going to be gone? And then his answer is hilarious. Hour 2, Arash Madani, always great. Jared Bednar, head coach.
Great interview.
of the Colorado Avalanche, which we could have went on for a long time. He's in Humboldt for the big Humboldt Classic
golf tourney.
Great event. Starts tomorrow in Humboldt. And then hour 3, Glen Suitor. Now, coming up in Regina, September 30th, the Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts Foundation is set to celebrate Indigenous hockey. It's a dinner celebrating Indigenous hockey legends at the Connexus Arts Center. It's on the day of Truth and Reconciliation. It's the evening you were talking golfing yesterday, and Ross Mahoney was there.
Yep.
There are some names coming in.
There are some names. Brian Trottier to start is going to be a heck of... I've met Brian. I've spoke with him before. He's a really great guy. Really down to earth. You can tell there's a lot of Saskatchewan in him.
The King brothers from Meadow Lake.
Yep.
John Nasty Morasti. Rich Pilon. Jordan Tutu.
Now, he's a maybe because he's moose hunting.
Maybe coming? I thought he was maybe to come on the show.
No, I think he's maybe coming. That's during moose season.
Dave Tiger Williams will be here.
Yep.
Who did they throw out? The Gretzky's old agent.
Mike Barnett.
Is he coming?
We gotta get that verified.
Confirmation. Craig Button.
Craig Button.
I'm gonna have Craig Button on the show next. Well, I'm not on next week. Maybe the week after.
Where are you next
week?
Watch
out with Craig. Up north.
Nice.
And it's a great event. It's again September 30th at the Connexus Arts Center, Western Canada Professional Hockey Scouts, and then all the money that these guys make, they put it back into the communities for different events. Probably the underprivileged, maybe the
outdoor hockey
league.
Yeah, outdoor hockey league will probably benefit
be a good
from
one.
that.
So yeah, more information. If you need any information, you can hit us up in the Sports Cage, any of our socials, and DM us. We can get you in contact with the right people there. Still watching out of the corner of my eye this Baltimore Indy game. You
haven't seen a Joe yet?
I can't believe how the NFL does a lot of things amazing, obviously. One thing they do like crap is the
game day rosters.
The live game day feed here, I've looked literally a dozen different places and I cannot find out the game day lineup.
CFL does that well.
The Riders do it well.
Yeah.
We do it well. On game day, we put out when we get it from the Riders.
Yeah.
So I went to obviously the Colts, and then I went to the broadcaster, and then I went to different followers.
What about the Ravens? Do the Ravens have it? We never looked there. Let me look. I'm on it.
There's a late game tonight too. It's Raiders Seahawks. If you want a wild ride of gambling later.
I haven't seen anything yet, but they're already through one quarter.
I'm watching it. Yeah, they're up 14.
There was a ridiculous, where was it? Alex Johnson, kid, one-handed interception.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here, I got it on the stream. Goes up for it.
Oh, yeah. Is that an interception if you're watching the stream? Yeah, these kids are so athletic now. They're so good. And to Jared Bednar, that interview we did to Jared Bednar, and I asked him, McCarr and McKinnon ever race? Like one starts on one red line and they go around, they do the loop-de-loop? He was like, no, that's actually a good idea.
And he didn't have a winner. He couldn't pick the winner. It'd be
because like different skating styles.
Yeah.
Like McKinnon is so quick, side to side, start quick. McCarr is quick, but he's got that edge work. And I'd like to see when it comes to like stride plus the turn, who would be maybe he'll do it this year. And he'll be like, hey, boys, because I was on this radio show in Regina, Saskatchewan, we're doing a race. We're doing this race.
That would be something. It would be...
I forgot about the Brent Burns signing, too, till today.
Yeah. That's to me, that's an interesting signing because he brings so much depth. Like, so much depth.
He's been healthy, too, right?
Yeah.
For how much he plays a ton. Yesterday, Maz had... we talked tons and tons and tons of Regina Thunder. They get going in Edmonton.
Yep.
This August. When's their home opener? Probably the weekend after. So Thunder, that starts already.
That's crazy.
And then Brian Raymond let us know that the sun's starting to go down at about 8:45, which I should know that as a guy that golfs all the time. It's sad.
It is sad.
I love September, though. Tomorrow,
Because it's the start of hunting season.
tomorrow, yeah, that's why I love it. We can take my chainsaw out there.
If you're hunting with a
Thing about tomorrow, I'm by myself. Got a lot of You know who we got on tomorrow? Tad Cornegay wants to come on talk Riders in the start of the season. We're going to talk to the couple gentlemen from the Baseball Canada Men's National Championship, August 21st to 24th. The Regina Trappers are hosting it. We gave away tickets today. If you want tickets, just text in 936-6262.
There's a beer garden.
We got a couple more. There's a beer gardens.
Yep.
Also, what else do I got on the program? Farhan Lalji. And there's a couple other. But the golf report tomorrow, we got Willie back because he runs and owns the Cypress Hills golf course.
Yeah.
And does it look awesome?
It's a good-looking track.
I recorded it today. It's a good chat. And that course in the fall, a lot of golf courses in the fall with changing colors are beautiful. But you go up north in the fall, and I love September golf because September's a little bit warmer than it used to, a little bit of climate change or whatever. Not to be elbows up geek here or anything, but the colors, and it looks like you are playing in the Boreal Forest when you're in Cypress Hills.
You are. You are in a forest.
I had no idea.
Really? You've never been there?
Played some senior hockey around Maple Creek.
It's another 30 miles south.
I know.
It's one of my favorite places in Saskatchewan to go visit.
Yeah?
Truly is. Yeah.
What about the Bednar Lake?
Besnard?
Besnard.
It's Burbage that I go to. I've been to Besnard, but it's Burbage that I go to. Burbage.
Damn it.
Joe is listed as 4th on the receiving chart.
He doesn't have any action tonight yet, but maybe he'd be a second half kind of guy.
They got to get through 3 guys to get to him.
He might not even be dressed. We're not sure. We haven't been able to find out. Probably looking in the wrong spots, but I looked darn near everywhere. So tomorrow I'm back by myself. If you tune in, play along tomorrow. I was trying to get my wife to come in and co-host tomorrow. I don't think she's going to.
It would be quite a show if she did.
It'd be funny.
It'd be quite a show.
It'd be funny.
Yep.
All right. Talk to you. I'm not in next week.
Done?
You'll be with Maz next week. We're done.
And then I'm away the week after.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Back tomorrow. Thanks to Access Communications, our sponsor today. Thanks to Flooring Superstore, Trent Dickin and his team for bringing on Sharky.
One final safety tip. If you're working on your chainsaw, make sure it's turned off. There you go.
Good point.
We didn't cover that earlier in the safety briefing.
All right.
Yeah.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. Good night.